Hello students. Today, as the topic says, we are going to understand and learn more about time. Now, time has three parts. What has gone by is the past. What is going on now is the present, and what is yet to come is the future. So time has three parts. So now we are having our previous lesson. So that becomes your present because it is happening now. What you all finished yesterday, maybe your English lesson is your past. So we are done with the English lesson. And what you all will have maybe on Friday is future. So that's your future. So we've got past, present, and future. The time is divided into three parts for our convenience. Now I can say that today is my birthday. So we also use the words like today, tomorrow, and yesterday. So today is my birthday. Yesterday it rained heavily, and tomorrow I am going for shopping. So again, we can understand time by using maybe words such as calendars and timetable. Now, have you been in school? I hope you all remember that we always have a class timetable put up. And in that, you know exactly which period is going on. So maybe we start with value education, then we've got English, then math, Marathi, then you have a break, then you've got maybe a PT period, art. So as the timetable, we know exactly the time that we are having. In the same way, we use a calendar to tell us about the different, maybe you know the day, you know the date, and you also know the month and you know the year. So the calendar also tells us about time. Now, there are archaeologists who study this time. And how do they tell us? By digging. When they are digging the foundation of a building, they come across statues, they come across different coins or shards of pottery. Shards of pottery is pieces of what? And these they use to find out more about time. Now what do? They study all these things carefully, and thus, because of their studies, we come to know about the period of time which these statues or the coins belong. And so it is important to understand time for studying history. So we should thank the archaeologists for doing this work for us. So now just a picture of maybe a temple which is showing you different statues of gods and goddesses. And this tells us maybe when the archaeologists study it, they tell you which era they belong to or who were the kings at this time. So all different studies are done accordingly. Now, as I said, shards of pottery. So these are pieces of pottery, maybe depending on the design, maybe depending on the patterns, what are there. They get to know which era they belong to. And now the coins. So you all must be familiar with coins. But previously we had maybe coins which were made of gold, silver, bronze, iron, different metal coins were there. Now hardly we have coins. Now what we use is the currency notes. So how do we measure time? Now to understand time, what do? We divide it into seconds, into minutes, into hours, into day and night, into a fortnight, into month and year. Now we know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. 1 day is equal to 24 hours. One fortnight means 15 days. 1 month is 30 or 31 days. And 1 year is again 365 or 366 days. So now it's a leap year, 2020. So 366 days. So February has got 29 days. So which we are already done with. Now, in the olden days, there were no clocks available. So depending on the movement of the sun, they had water clocks. There were some hourglasses that were used and calendars, what we use now. We've got the digital clocks now. These are all instruments of measuring time. Let us have a look at maybe the water clock now, which was used in the olden days. So a water clock had a container maybe filled with water, and depending on the movement of the sun, the time was recorded. So this was all on hourly basis. It was not the exact time that was known. Now the hourglass. Now the hourglass, as you see, uh, it came into use only in Europe first, in the country of Europe, and this was in the 14th century. Now we are in the 21st century. In the 14th century, the hourglass came into use in Europe. Now, what does the hourglass contain? It contains of two glass vessels which are connected to each other. Okay, so there is no gap. It is connected to each other, but they are two vessels. Okay, this has got a small hole here, and dry fine sand is filled in this. So the hourglass has the capacity of an hour. So that is why it is named as an hourglass. Now the connecting hole between the vessels allows the sand from the top vessel to fall into the lower vessel, as you can see here. And the hourglass was constructed in such a way that it took only 1 hour for all the sand to fall from one vessel into the other. The clock was turned as soon as all the sand had fallen into the lower vessel. And that is how a period of 1 hour was measured. These clocks were used in India also. So I hope all of you have seen how the hourglass is done. And now something what we use on a daily basis, the calendar. Now the calendar is used, it tells us about the days of the week. So there are 7 days in a week. It tells us about the month. It tells us about the year. It also tells us how many days are there. So if I want to see what is the date on the second Tuesday, I know it is 8. What is the date on the last Monday? So it is 28. How many days are there? There are 31 days. So looking at the calendar, you can answer many questions and you get to know exactly the time and the month and maybe which year is going on. Now we have got an activity on page number 31. So what you need to do is you need to stick your photographs there. It's given there. So maybe when you were a small baby, now if you're 10 years old, and a picture of what you would be after 20 years. So we come to the end of this lesson now, and what we have learned now, we have learned that time is split into different parts, into 3 parts, that is past, present and future. We also split it into parts like words like right now, in a while, later. We used to measure time in our minds. Now time is measured by using instruments such as clocks, calendars and school timetables. Time is divided into parts such as seconds, minutes, hour, day and night, or week, fortnight, month and year. And using coins, statues, shards of pottery, etc., we understand time through historical buildings or old objects. And this helps us to understand the history of that place. So complete the activity on page number 31 and we meet again maybe this week to we'll finish with the notes of this lesson. So see you children. Bye bye.